Welcome into the latest edition of Extra Time. Craig Burley has been delighted to hear about the Pogmentary, Pogba's new documentary.
Just finished the show, didn't even have time to go for a cup of tea.
And he's here alongside Frank and
Tell you what,
Shaka.
if that word comes up, right, we've got it out of the way today. What's it called again?
Pogmentary.
Pogmentary. What a load of nonsense. We've got it out of the way today. We've got it out there. We've had a discussion about it. Let's never mention it again.
You know that every question will continue to be about this now.
We never, ever, ever mention it again.
Can we not say Pogmentary, guys?
Pogmentary.
I just did it. All right. First question is for you,
That's
Craig.
what it's called.
Oh, you'll be happy to know, though, it doesn't feature in the first question.
What do you mean? You're talking to me? Talk to me.
All right.
Talk to me. What are you talking
Craig,
about?
Shaka is the mayor of Newcastle, and Frank has stadiums named after him.
Yeah.
Is there anything named after you somewhere? Make something up if not.
No. Would be the answer. What? I don't know.
A pub.
A pub.
A pub. Did anyone ever tell you I named my son after you?
His dog?
Yeah, people might name a dog after me. I can't repeat some of the words.
What would you call your own documentary?
A pile of something.
A guffmentary.
Garbage-mentary.
Guffmentary.
Guffmentary. A drivel-mentary. A who cares mentary. A not bothered mentary.
I couldn't give a stuff mentary.
Couldn't give a stuff mentary. And why are we talking about this again? Mentary. Something like that. No, nothing been named after me.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting in my statue outside Celtic Park. Not happening. I'm waiting. But no. Frank's got a what named after him? A stadium? Just drop this.
Stadiums, plural. Yeah,
Oh.
look, he's just chilling.
Me?
He's like,
No, that's
yeah.
no.
Shaka loves a freebie.
No, I have a
he's
stadium,
in
I have a park, and I have a gymnasium. I have
There you
three
go.
stuff named
Oh.
after me. Yeah.
So that's the benchmark.
Yeah,
Boy.
Right.
exactly.
Ale mentioned on yesterday's show that he once played on a field where it was so hot that the cleats actually started melting. So his boots actually started
Studs.
melting. The studs.
Cleats, studs.
What's the worst condition you've
Wow.
ever played a game in?
Oh, I know.
Frank, go on.
I know. Definitely Champions League game in Tromsø, which is 500 miles to the North Pole, and we played there against Tromsø. We lost 3-2. We had to stop playing because we couldn't see the line in the second half 3 times because of the snow. It was fantastic. I mean, that was so funny. I remember jumping with the striker and falling into the snow and hurting my head, and the striker got a little bit of ice or snow and said, "Do you need some ice?" you know, and put it in my face. We were laughing at it. We couldn't stop the game because of the, I think the schedule was impossible to rearrange. So we had to finish the game, and we finished the game. We lost 3-2. We won the second leg 7-0, I think. But it was a very crazy experience. I think it was only a daylight for 4 hours at that time. That was intense. That was very intense.
Shaka?
To start this season, to start the MLS season in 2007, Dallas played away to LA, and then we played away to New York Red Bull. For the New York game, a nor'easter blew in. It was freezing cold. It was wet. At halftime, 2 players, one of the Dallas center halves and the goalkeeper for New York, had to be substituted with hypothermia. That's how bad it was.
God, soft.
Oh, wow.
Soft. Soft.
Oh. Anything stand out to you?
Well, playing up in the north of Scotland in Aberdeen in the middle of the week, cold, wet, freezing. But the worst I kind of could cope with that. I played in DC in the 90s in Maryland, and it was the humidity. But that was before I was that was before I was Americanized. I'm used to that now. But back before then, I was, you know, anything above 65, and I was in trouble. So That was, I love the heat now, but it was the heat and the humidity in DC. It was around the end of May time. So it's not so much the heat, but more the humidity. I don't know why it is down there. It's so humid, but it was. Who's
It's awful in DC.
Right, there you go. I knew there was an expert in the house. Shaq.
No, I went on the season then.
you know,
It was horrible,
guys,
but I wasn't
5
playing.
years, and it is awful.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was actually glad I was wearing black
You know
because
what-
I
what
felt
I-
like everyone was just sweating.
Shaq could do a power rankings of the most and worst humid places to play.
Starting in his house with no air conditioning.
Well, of course. Nobody has to pay for it.
I played in Qatar for 2 years, guys, and the first training session that I made, it was mid-August. I went there. I went to train at 9 p.m. It was still like 40 degrees Celsius, so I don't know. I think it's 100 and something at 9 p.m. And I was running with a pack of ice because it was so hot. That was absolutely insane, I tell you. 2 years after, I played the final of the EMEA Cup, same time of the season, same temperature, and I was running like a baby. Like, you know, I was very used to it. It's crazy how the body can adapt to the situation. But at the first time, it was
run like a
a
baby.
nightmare.
Yeah, how do you run like a baby? Fall over, pick up. Bosh, down.
Yeah. Like happy and crazy without, you know, well, when you can walk.
We know what
of
you meant.
course.
We used to go to Hong Kong and Thailand and stuff at the end of the season.
Thank you
with
very much.
Chelsea. I tell you, one of the places we went to, it was really hot, was Brunei. And this is brilliant. We went, now at the end of a long hard season, the players usually want to go somewhere where they can have, how can I put this? Some camaraderie, a few beers. Maybe play a match against a team for the fans there, blah, blah, blah. And somebody gets, the club gets some money. Anyway, Ken Bates at the time decided part of the trip was going to be to Brunei. And we end up in the Sultan of Brunei's palace, right? And this guy was at one point, he was the richest man in the world, wasn't he? He's like, built his own theme
Yeah,
parks
the Sultan,
for
the Sultan of
Sultan,
Brunei,
yeah, the Sultan, yeah. But in Brunei, it's dry. Well, it was then. Couldn't have a beer, right? Now, it's been a long, hard season. That did not go down well with the players, trust me, in the hotel. I thought there was going to be, I honestly thought there was going to be killings between each other. Frank, was you on that trip?
Yes, we were on that trip. We went to Hong Kong, then Brunei, then Bangkok. And it's true that we couldn't have a beer in Brunei. It was very, very hot. And do you remember getting to the loo, the restrooms, and they were golden?
Yeah.
They were in gold because the guy was so rich.
Tell you what, though,
that was the kind of experience.
He had 10-pin bowling alleys in his house, everything,
Wow.
and he was followed around.
You guys were there.
We were there. Lend us a few quid, will you? And we were, but he was followed around, if memory serves me right, and it looked like it was ex-SAS or Special Forces guys who were now being paid by him, and they would follow him pretty much around all the time as his security. I mean, it was pretty scary. It was a good experience, but we couldn't have a beer. It was a long season. How would Stevie have coped?
I don't know if he would have. I don't know if he would have. Next question. How good was Matt Le Tissier, considering he spent his career with a weaker club?
No, brilliant. And yeah, you can look at Matt Le Tissier not moving to other clubs and blah blah blah. And was he good enough? Yes, he was. Some of the goals that he scored. Well, you know this, don't you? Some of the goals he scored were, a lot of the goals he scored were special goals. I mean, properly special goals. But he made that decision to stay in Southampton, and that was his decision.
Xhaka?
I've always said I found Matt Le Tissier to be the hardest opponent I played against. I mean, he was an absolute nemesis. He could do, and from a goalkeeper perspective, he could do anything with the ball with the same exact backlift. He could drill it, he could chip you, he could bend it with the same exact backlift. So as a keeper, you had no idea what was coming. And honestly, of everybody I played against, Matt Le Tissier easily was the one I hated playing against most. Easily.
I definitely didn't want him stood in front of you on the penalty spot, right, Shaka?
Okay.
Go on, Frank.
Okay, I think Michel Platini tried to make him French because he had the double. He could have been French because of his situation. He was born in New Jersey, I think.
Jersey.
And, so he could have been Jersey, no, New Jersey, Jersey Island. So he could, and his name is French, and he could have been French. And I think Michel Platini was, when he was the head coach of the national team, tried to get him the French nationality in order for him to play for the French team. Absolutely fantastic player. I had the chance to play against him. Fantastic.
Could have won the World Cup with Frank.
Could have done.
Yeah.
Could have done.
Maybe.
But
Well, he
then
would have been fighting against Zidane.
If Matt Le Tissier had won the World Cup with Frank, would he then have walked around with the World Cup on his head for the next 20 years? Not sure he would.
All right. Seeing as though you love talking about schedules.
Well, I don't only my schedule.
Well, with the new Premier League schedule out, we've got...
The new Premier League schedule's out.
It's out, yeah.
Well, the most important thing between my schedule for next week and the Premier League schedule, I don't care a jot about the Premier League schedule.
All right, well, let's see how you went to this question. You might care a little bit more because there is a more personal link to it.
No,
All right,
I'm making an early decision. I don't.
Newcastle United, West Ham United, Everton, Tottenham Hotspur, Manchester City, Bournemouth. How many points does Craig think Forest will attain in their first 6 fixtures?
Right, one sec. All right, let me read these teams. Depends who they sign. Quite say, there's always an out here. It depends what players they bring in. Where are the games? I don't know if they're home or away. Newcastle, West Ham, Everton, Tottenham, Man City, Bournemouth. I'm going to say 4.
4.
9.
No, it's going to be difficult. No, Newcastle are going to spend again.
3.
West Ham, Everton are going to be better. Tottenham have already signed. City, yeah, maybe 1 win, 1 draw. Not many is the answer, unfortunately.
All right. Seeing as though we've been talking about winning the World Cup and Shaka's power rankings in the show today, we're going to ask who is the best side to never win the World Cup? Is it the Netherlands of the 1974 and 1978 World Cups, Brazil of 1982, or someone else?
Brazil 82.
Brazil
Good
82.
job. It's a good job Dan's not here, in general, because he...
Not nice.
He knows I'm joking.
He does.
Maybe.
Nah,
Sebi's
the
not
Netherlands,
sure.
1974.
Sebi always says...
Netherlands, guys, you were too young.
Sebi always says, why do you guys treat
You
me
were
so
too young.
badly? And I say, what? And we treat Dan nice? You're not watching the shows? But he always gets bored when I say 1982 World Cup, Dan, because that's the first one I watched properly. And it was brilliant. But that team with Socrates, Zico, Falcao, Junior. Unfortunately, they had Serginho up front. He wasn't the best. But the rest of them, oh my God, that was a brilliant team. We got put out by Italy. Paolo Rossi, back after his ban. This is a history lesson, isn't it?
It is. It is.
Back after his ban, Bosch, hat-trick, Brazil out. Brilliant team, though.
Frank, you're going even older, though.
Yeah, well, he is older.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I'm older. 1974, the first World Cup that I followed. Johan Cruyff, Johan Niskens, Rudy Krol, and so many others. I mean, that team was absolutely fantastic. The Netherlands 1974. They should have won the World Cup, but lost against Germany in Germany, and against Beckenbauer, Müller, Breitner, and some other Voxt. And but what a generation! I think it would have been the Netherlands for me.
Want a very uninteresting fact? My old manager was in that Dutch side.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Who was your old manager?
I told you it was a very uninteresting. Wim Jansen, who passed away a few months ago.
You actually do have some good stories about him, yeah.
And he was he never talked about it because we never asked him. But he was part of that great that great Dutch era.
We never asked Frank, Craig. We never asked Frank about the World Cup.
We never asked Frank about the World Cup, but he tells us about it.
Yeah,
And now imagine
but
that,
there's a
Frank.
difference. One lost it.
Not winning a World
One
Cup.
one lost it, and the other one won it. That's the difference.
And
I think
don't we
Anson
know
would
it?
have talked about
and
it.
Don't we
you know?
bloody know it?
We'll end it there anyway. Thank you so much, guys, for the story time and for the reminder that Frank Leboeuf did win the World Cup. You can catch us tomorrow, same time. Same
Yes, I did.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.